You ever notice the way that The Sopranos depicts the FBI, who on paper are supposed to be the good guys fighting organized crime, but by the end of the series, the show tells us that they are just as bad. This isn't to justify the actions of Tony and his crew, two wrongs don't make a right, but when Tony tells Dr. Melfi when trying to justify his lifestyle that all these other institutions aren't any better, he's not lying. And the show does, I think, a really great way explaining that. Often we see the Mafia as the predatory organizations, which they are, and we see that with the Davis Catino arc in the beginning of the series. The way that they hook David in, knowing his weakness, and utilizing that as a hook to drag him along to scrape every penny that he's worth, only just to pump and dump at the end. Typical Mafia extortion that the viewer should expect. But it's no surprise that by the end of the series, we get the same arc, it's just reversed, this time from the perspective of the FBI. What happens with Adriana, and I mean quite literally everything that happens to Adriana, is parallel to David Scantino. And just like the Mafia who knows what's going to happen at the end of the game, so does the FBI. And they both don't care about the person that they're extorting. You gotta remember that it's the same season that David's being extorted by the crew, that Pussy's being extorted by the FBI. These are people who are being forced to do something, things that are literally going to be life-altering, simply because they made a mistake. This is not to excuse the mistakes that they're making, because Pussy, Aid, and David do make pretty serious mistakes, but it is the fact that they were all utilized as hooks in the same way, and they were carried out the same way. Really, the only difference, which may be the objective here when it comes to the definition of extortion, is money. The FBI isn't extorting the individual for money, they're doing it for information, where clearly Tony and his guys are doing it for money. But really, the fact that they paint the same art from the beginning of the series and repackage it in such a subtle way towards the end of the series is masterclass.